Welcome, locked in fans. It's your boy Ron Money here. I want to give a big welcome back to my boy Ray J the Juice, man. It's been a long time, man. Glad to have you back.
What's the word? What's the word, man? Locked in family. I'm back, man. It's been a long hiatus. It's a pleasure to be back, man. I'm happy to be back. It's an exciting episode. We got some heat for y'all, man. This upcoming year, man. It's gonna be a great year for. I hope it's a great year for you, but I'm ensuring to you that it's gonna be a great year from us to you. You feel me? So just be on the lookout. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely. So today's just NFL Wild Card Weekend recap, and then afterwards we're gonna go into our predictions for divisional rounds. So just to kick it off, obviously, Saturday, first game, we had the Buffalo Bills versus the Indianapolis Colts. That game was a very close game. It's the first Bills playoff win in 25 years. So, Bills fans out there, going through all that suffering is finally over. Josh Allen, he has a case for MVP. Obviously, the playoffs is a whole different story, but
Okay.
he has a whole. It's a playoffs. Like I said, the playoffs is a whole different story. But the man does have a case for MVP. He had a phenomenal season, and having a wide receiver just like Stephon Diggs, obviously, helps very
That
much.
man is a savior. That was a great game. That was probably one of the best games I've seen in a while. As far as football, this weekend was a good football weekend.
Oh, it
Honestly,
was phenomenal. Allen
yeah.
had 324 yards, 2 touchdowns, 54 rush yards, and a touchdown on the ground. Stephon Diggs, 128 yards and a touchdown. And this could possibly be, or I'm sorry, Saturday could have possibly been Philip Rivers' last football game. Now, I never really hated Philip Rivers, but I was never a fan of Philip Rivers. Something about him just bugged me, but it is, sad seeing someone who has been playing the game for a long time, finally hang up their cleats. You know,
I mean, Philip is Philip, man. He was that guy that was gonna get you he's gonna get you for like 5,000. You know what I'm saying? Like 35, 40 touchdowns. You know what I'm saying? But it's just like when it mattered most, he just never could win, man.
yeah,
And I appreciate having Philip in the league. You know what I'm saying? Because he has been, part of that legion of great quarterbacks that we had in this past generation. But this weekend kind of showed the new generation of quarterbacks is definitely making this impact felt.
yeah.
In the league going forward.
This is kind of like a random stat I seen earlier. Baker Mayfield is he's not even 26 yet, but he is
25, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
but he is the oldest quarterback still left in the playoffs on the AFC.
Mm. Ah.
Which, like you said, is showing the younger generation starting to come up.
Yeah.
But then you
That's what it
obviously
showed.
right then, but obviously you have the NFC where you got Brady who 43, Breeze who 41,
Drew's 41.
Rodgers who 38 or 38, I believe, 36.
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong, and then Jared Goff who's 26.
Right.
But Philip Rivers, I feel like personally, he was he wasn't great. He was a step under. He was good. He was. That's where I'm gonna keep him. I'm not gonna,
That's fair. That's fair. That's a fair assessment. I mean, he
he's
never
not
won
a
a championship.
he's not a Tom Brady, Drew
He's been to
Brees.
a few. I feel like every time he played in the AFC Championship game, it was always against Tom Brady. You know what I'm saying? The first time, he tore his ACL in that game, so that kind of went sideways after that. And the second time, it was just, I think that was the year the Patriots beat the Falcons. I think that was 2016. So
No,
when
Rivers
that
hasn't been
happened,
the AFC. I don't think he's been the AFC Championship.
really, I thought he played Brady in the AFC Championship game one year. It was like 2000 something.
Yeah, no,
Last
that's
time
the
I
one where
remember.
obviously where he tore his ACL, but
Yeah.
not with the
So was that a
recently.
divisional? Was that a divisional game he played against the Patriots a few years
I'm
ago?
pretty sure.
Yeah, because that was when Keenan Allen had came back from his ACL. There was a lot going on that season for them. So I feel like every time he was close to taking the Chargers to the, a big game, it just never happened for him. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I give credit where it's due. He's a great quarterback, but he's not a great. I don't know. It's just I don't know, bro. He never really had bad games when he played in the playoffs, bro. It's just he just could not
The
push
job
them
done.
over the hump. You know what I'm saying? He's consistent. His numbers gonna always be there. But like, where does the accolades to support it come in? You know,
But I think turnovers obviously have always been a problem for him.
for sure,
That's the big
100%.
thing.
I will say he does have a tendency to overthink situations when it comes to making the right play in a crucial moment. You know what I'm saying? So I agree. But I want to give a shout out to Josh Allen. You know what I'm saying? Has had an amazing season so far. He's constantly, he's been consistent throughout the season. Leading Bills Mafia back to the playoffs, leading, actually, being an actual leader of that offense. Having a veteran like Stephon Diggs, a professional at what he does. I commend Stephon Diggs. I commend that Bills defense for sure, though. That defense has definitely done a great job this season at mitigating and keeping things in order for them. It's been a surprising season on a lot of rounds, man. We watched the Bills and the Browns in their playoff droughts. So that's something that I really appreciate as a fan. I mean, even if you don't look at it like, I've been seeing comments about people saying like, well, the Bills, the NFL wants to see the Browns and the Bills. I really hate when people do that. Like, don't downgrade they win. They won fair and square. At the end of the day, a lot of these teams the teams that they play had plenty of opportunities to push the game away, and they failed to capitalize. It's just that simple, man. So, shout out to the Bills and the Browns. But Bills did a great job. Honestly, stemming the tide that that Phillip Rivers has a tendency to do, because Phillip Rivers has a tendency to get going. Like it'll be a point where he'll not have a pass drop for like 15 plays. You know what I'm saying?
And this year, he had a tremendous defense.
Yeah, for sure. The Colts definitely.
They were top 5 defense this year.
But T.Y. Hilton, man, what the hell happened? Remember when T.Y. Hilton was considered a top 5? You feel me? Wide out in the league, man. Like, what happened, man? Like,
hey, people started declining. Some people's others keep putting.
I didn't know it was gonna be this quick though. We was just talking about it 3 years ago.
Hey, man, some people just put him more work. That's what it really is.
Yeah, man, that's true.
Let's talk about the Seattle Seahawks. Disappointing.
Rams and the Seahawks.
Every year.
Every time, bro. He just chokes against them, bro.
Every year, I always talk about, like, I love Russell Wilson. He's super underrated. And then, he always started the season phenomenal. And then, obviously, we've seen towards the middle of the season, he win a couple games without touchdowns, or he would abundance of turnovers. And it just really starts to get me thinking, is Russell Wilson really the guy that the Seattle Seahawks really want to have going forward? Now, I'm not saying he's bad or like he's declining or anything, but like he's getting less and less clutch. Because when you look at 2013, 2014, the years that they had went to the Super Bowl, let's be honest, it was most of the defense and Marshawn Lynch. Because you had a power back like him to depend on, but you had that phenomenal defense. Bobby Wagner, Bruce Irvin. You had Cam Chancellor, Earl Thomas. You had Richard Sherman in his prime. It starts to really question: is it Russ?
I will say this: I don't think it's Russ.
I
think it's a system, bro.
It's a system, because I always wonder.
It's very predictable. Like, I watched them play, and they still running plays from beginning of the year in the playoffs.
So, like,
you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like it's Pete Carroll, bro. I really do. Like, I feel like people are forgetting to put the blame on Pete Carroll now because, you got to remember 2 years ago they decided to throw the ball on the 1 yard line. You know what I'm saying? And that cost them the entire Super Bowl. So, if you, like, when that happened, it kind of, like, really put things into perspective. Like, Pete Carroll is, like, always trying to think outside of the box. Yeah, he's not doing a good job at doing so, I'm not sure if he's the one that calls the plays during the games. I know how some teams have it where the head coach is there strictly to just motivate and, make sure the team is on point with the game plan that's set.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not too sure. But I really feel like it's the system itself. Like, for instance, like, DK isn't experienced yet. I'll say that. He's not experienced yet.
See, where I'm going to go with that is, when you said they're predictable, when Russ threw his pick six, they were running a stack set, and obviously Russ was trying to force that ball to DK, and the cornerback, obviously, he must have studied. Obviously, he knew that play was coming. He studied his film. He ran up. He split the split the both receivers. Pick six, took it to the house. So, like you said, it's predictable. Obviously, that's what happens. Obviously, when you watch your film too, but I don't know. Like I said, they've been playing behind a phenomenal defense. Obviously, this year, still had Bobby Wagner. You had Jamal Adams. So you're right. I'm
I
starting to
don't know
believe.
how I feel. Like Jamal Adams to me is like he hasn't had like a great, you know what I'm saying, since being traded to the Seahawks. I know he had his, but you know how it always is. A defensive star gets traded to another team, they had a breakout game, and then like it just becomes slow for them after that. To me, I was seeing comments all over social media about Jamal Murray being a glorified outside linebacker, or this, that, and the third, woo this, woo that, and it's just like it's holes. The holes in their defense come from the fact that the defense is constantly on the field. I feel like the offense wasn't really on the field as much as I want them to be, because they have weapons in Seattle as offensively. They just not using them correctly. And I feel like the experience they had, with DK, don't get me wrong, DK is a beast, but DK not ready yet. You know what I'm saying? Like that's all that was to me.
In 3 games versus the LA Rams this year, Jalen Ramsey's locked him down.
A Clint. He's a Clint. And that's what we got. That's why I tip my hat to Los Angeles, because the Rams, as much as we talked about them being a team that was paid for or whatever, or you have all these names on this team, but they can't seem to get the job done. In my opinion, right now, the Rams honestly have the best roster to go to the Super Bowl. But I'm gonna say that for another topic. I'm gonna say that. I feel like they have the chance to go to the Super Bowl because they have the depth over most teams when it comes to, besides the Buccaneers, I would say. But like when I like depth wise, I feel like
you're talking about overall, or are we talking about
overall,
a certain side of the ball?
Yeah, overall. Like I mean, like they have depth. You know what I'm saying? Like they can kind of like play with like putting this person in instead of that person, or they know how to adjust. They can adjust quickly, much faster than most teams. But I don't know. I just like every time they play the Rams, the Seahawks they play like a perennial team, like another, I guess you can say, contender. It seems to be like, I don't know, bro. Like they just can't figure it out against great teams. Like they'll give us some great regular season battles, but when it comes down to the playoffs, the plays they run just don't work. Like I just don't know what's the problem. Like I didn't really see Russ get a chance to run. The LA one letting that happen. Russ can definitely get you a good 15, 16-yard 3rd and 10 or whatever. Like he can do that, but it's like it just wasn't. It was contained. Like he was in a box the whole game, and I respect that defense today.
See,
shout out to Jalen. He hasn't really been doing much talking this year, man. He's just been showing up and just putting the clamps on, man. Like he really just been showing up, bro. Like he earned his contract this year, bro. Like he's showing that. Like stop playing with that man.
The only reason the Los Angeles Rams won that football game is because obviously Goff was active, but Wolford, he had a nasty head-to-head hit. Actually, had gotten taken to the hospital. I haven't heard anything.
Prayers to him.
Right, prayers up to him. But if he doesn't, I mean, we don't know when Goff was if he was gonna end up coming in regardless. But that's why they won. But I'm not even gonna put it on what's it called. Jared Goff didn't have a good game. 105 yards and a touchdown. Cam Akers, the running back, obviously he went off 131 yards, 1 touchdown. But the key to that Los Angeles Rams win was the defense. You had obviously Jalen Ramsey clamps. You had Aaron Donald and Leonard Floyd both had 2 sacks apiece that game. So, and Aaron Donald's a problem for any offensive lineman. So you got to be fair when you're going against him.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I like the analysis because, like I say, the defense was on. They had them in the box, man. Like whatever they tried, it was just the solution to it. It was like, man, like this is hard to watch, So that's something I will say that I can take away from that game. I just think Seattle needs to start like they're trying to hold on to this
the legacy they had.
The legacy they created with the Legion of Boom. You know what I'm saying? You got. It's over with, bro. Like it really is. Like I feel like they need a fresh coach. They need start a new coach, man. Like don't feel bad for that, man. Like Pete Carroll's a great football coach, but Pete Carroll, I don't know, man.
I think
he giving me Doc Rivers vibes right now, bro. Like that's the best example I can give right now. He giving me Doc Rivers vibes, bro. Like You know, he had the Legion of Boom. He had, 6, 7 All-Pros on the defense that year. You had Russell. You had Marshawn. Like, he had a Doc Rivers effect, bro. Like, he really, like, does he deserve the credit for that championship as much as we give it to him?
You know what? Since you're giving Doc Rivers comparisons, I'm going to give him a comparison to Joe Madden, currently the coach of the Los Angeles Angels, but former coach of the Chicago Cubs. I feel like he is a coach that is good for – because you know him. You've seen Pete Carroll on the sidelines. He has a lot of energy. He's fun, you know what I'm saying? He belongs coaching a young football team. He's more of like you coach them while they're young, and the ones like Joe Madden, he coached the Cubs up when they were young from 2015. They won the World Series in 16, and then obviously you see it every year. The Cubs went to World Series again. Then it was like not the World Series again. It went to the NLCS, and they kept going down. That's where the Seattle Seahawks are at. So that's my comparison. He's
that
more
makes sense.
He's more of a Joe Madden. He's a coach of a younger football team, build them up, and then move on. But you know.
Okay.
Let's move on to the next game. We got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus the Washington football team. Now, honestly, that game was closer than I expected. Obviously, after hearing Alex Smith is out with the calf injury, anything with him, you got to be cautious, especially with the leg, because it was his calf on his leg that had all the procedures done on it. So, obviously, anything that happens to him or any injury is going to take double the recovery time because they basically had to they took his calf basically off the bone and whatever and restructured it. So obviously, he needs that time. And
I'm back player of the year, but I get you. I hear you.
Oh, definitely.
I hear you.
But you had a backup, Taylor Heineke played an excellent game. He earned excellent game. If he doesn't stay in Washington, he for sure earned his spot on an NFL roster somewhere. And
the right system, he'll flourish. The right system, he'll flourish. You can tell for sure. You can tell he's been doing his homework with the system they have now. Constantly, putting himself in positions. You know what I'm saying? He was ready. Yeah. He was ready when it was time.
I actually read a thing earlier. He played the final quarter with a separated AC joint in his left shoulder. So that just shows the heart. And obviously, at the release of Dwayne Haskins and Alex Smith not playing, you're wondering who the hell is the backup quarterback for him. But obviously, he played through it, and we didn't get to see that because he did obviously get hurt. So, but we'll just talk about this, obviously, his performance overall. Like, it was just great. He had 306 yards, a touchdown, and an interception. And he also had 46 rush yards and a touchdown on the ground. And he actually led the team in rushing, which is, it's crazy. And I was actually talking to people. They're like, oh, if Alex Smith doesn't play, they're going to get blown out. And I'm looking at them and I told them, like, you never know what's going to happen. Especially in playoffs.
The playoffs are so unpredictable. That's why I don't make my predictions, honestly, bro. Because it's like when you're watching the playoffs, you're really like, bro, this team has a chance. Like one touchdown, even 3 touchdowns. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's always a chance. Like, you can never say never in a playoff game, especially when watching football. You know what I'm saying? Like, the NBA, the earlier rounds, you can make that predicament. You know what I'm saying? Like, well, you're going to see who's going to get swept. You can tell how it's going. But, like, honestly, like, you may get a team get a win. But, like, it's one game in the NFL, bro. Like, so, like, it's always a chance, G. Like, so I don't understand.
You make one mistake,
but one thing I will say is that Washington defense did not do their job. They did not execute. They did not. Chase Young, I respect Chase Young for making that statement. Like, we coming out to number 12, TB12, we coming after you. That's good, bro, because for you to actually lead your team your first year in the league to the playoffs, because he definitely played a big part in them getting there.
Oh, definitely, for sure about it, yeah.
I respect the Washington Redskins, the organization, Ron Rivera dealing with, middle of the game, getting treatments, coming back to the field. Like, that's a hell of a coach that they're starting to build for that team. You know what I'm saying? Fine. I remember Washington used to be a perennial 11-win team. When they had Clinton Portis, you know what I'm saying? Like, they made noise, you know what I'm saying? So I would love to see Washington, besides the Capitals, you know what I'm saying, in hockey. I want to see, Washington, build a powerhouse, build a culture, build a dynasty, you know what I'm saying? Like, a team that can finally be respected after all these years, because, like, it's just been real bad quarterback luck with them, honestly. They always had solid defense. But I don't know, man. I'm excited for them, though. I am.
I'm going to partially disagree with you.
Mm-hmm.
They did their job. They just didn't get all the necessary stops needed to win the football game.
Okay.
Because obviously, it was 23-30, I believe, game, or 23
Yeah.
to 31, whatever it was. So obviously they were getting stops. Because we know Tom only had 2 touchdowns. Tom could have had
He did 4
4
or 5.
touchdowns. He could have 5 touchdowns.
You know.
So they
Yeah.
did their job. But what really helped Tom Brady, even though he didn't have a touchdown in the game, is Mike Evans.
Mike Evans. Yep.
Because that's
putting that ball. Mike Evans was, you know what I'm saying? Mike Evans was playing smart. You know what I'm saying? He was, you know what I'm saying? He was literally catching the ball, getting him that 23 yards, 24 yards, stepping out. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't trying to take it on his own to, risk himself, So I agree.
Well, he just had an injury, obviously, too, so he came off.
He did. So he definitely was, playing smart. And he played to his advantage,
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because Mike Evans is, like 6'4", 6'5". Yeah. He's a big dude, you know what I'm saying? So I respect that, for sure.
But my point is, when I say it's having him helped a lot, obviously, it took a lot of pressure off Godwin and AB. Now, we know AB is used to being the number one guy, but he hasn't been the number one guy in about – he hasn't been the guy this year, and he didn't play last year, only that one game. So he hasn't –
You commend him, though, for coming in and, after what he put us – after what he put us through, bro. He put us through a lot.
And the way he's obviously coming back and he's obviously being more professional, but all the stuff that happened, obviously, last year, it shouldn't have happened. If he never wanted to play for that organization, you know what I mean?
Why sign a contract? I know, bro. I know.
Because, honestly, I thought
he lost out a lot of money on that for that. I was very upset with that.
Because, honestly, I thought AB and Derek Carr would have been a great duo. Because Derek Carr, obviously, he's not a Tom Brady, but he can make – or he's not a Ben Roethlisberger either. But he can still make plays. We've seen that in 2015, obviously, before he went down with his injury. And we've seen flashes of it this year, with that beautiful throw to Henry Ruggs against the New York Jets. So he can make plays. Him and AB would have been a problem for the league. But, but like I said, I do commend him for obviously coming in, doing he just. But I feel like he was in the shadows of Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. You know what I'm saying? Because obviously, after missing a year and a half, you don't trust him as much as your number one like you did 2 years ago. You know what I mean?
I understand. Like I said, I respect it. I'm glad he's in the system where he can still be effective. It's to me that wide receiving tandem is anybody can be number one on any given day. But of course, we have our trust in Mike Evans, who's proven to be. I mean, come on, he's what? Didn't he just break a record for 7,000, 7 straight 1,000-yard seasons or something like that? So
I believe he passed Randy.
Right. So he passed Randy Moss to that. That's a commitment itself. Sorry. That's respect, man. 7,000 yards in your first 7 years, Jesus Christ, and he's had no quarterbacks at one point. So for him to be able to still put up those type of numbers,
I would say,
Jameis, come on now, bro. Jameis was the dude, but Jameis wasn't. You could tell that Bucker. They didn't trust Jameis, bro.
That man was throwing blind. He was throwing basically with his eyes closed.
You know what I'm saying? I understand, bro. And he was still putting that joint in the LG. I can count on mine. You can't even count on your hands and toes how many 70-yard touchdowns Mike Evans will have with James. So, it's you know what I'm saying? So, like I say, bro, I commend Mike Evans. He's a great wide receiver, top 5 receiver. You can make an argument for top 3 depending on how this next week go. You know what I'm saying? So, it's definitely it's up for Buccaneers, man. I just don't know, bro. I just feel like the Buccaneers, can they? I don't know, bro. There's something about them, bro. I don't know what it is. I'm watching, you know what I'm saying? I don't really watch football that much, but I've definitely been paying attention this past year because I really like the team, the moves the teams has made. The league is very different. The league is in great hands, you know what I'm saying? So, I don't know, bro. But that last game, my God.
We finna get there.
Oh my God.
I'm just going, you feel me, order. We're gonna chop it up. Baltimore Ravens, Tennessee Titans. Lamar, obviously phenomenal. 79 yards passing, 1 touchdown. Then he had 136 yards on the ground and 1 rushing touchdown. The man almost had as much rushing yards as he did passing yards, which is ridiculous to me.
Didn't he have more rushing yards than the entire Tennessee Titans? Am I correct? Yeah.
Derrick,
I think he outrushed the whole team. That's crazy. That's crazy, bro.
the defense held Derrick Henry to only 40 yards.
All right.
And obviously we know the whole story last year. Derrick Henry had a field day against him. He just ran up and down the field. Gave Earl that little stiff arm. So this year,
earlier this season, we had them play the first time, and then you saw the
logo.
The logo incident, getting into it with John. Is it Jim Harbaugh?
John.
Okay, so they got into it with the coach of the Ravens, John Harbaugh. Like that was. I was like, okay, I got a little rivalry.
And obviously, when Marcus Peters got his interception off Ryan Tannehill, they just they won the logo too, and then it's history.
Right.
And obviously the whole problem, they played a decent game. Is Ryan Tannehill threw that interception at the wrong time. Now it's not his. I'm not gonna give him 100% of the blame. His receiver did slip, but and I don't like how in the post-game interview, the reporter basically tried to almost put Lamar versus Derrick Henry, and he basically, I forgot what was said, but obviously Lamar was like, hey, it's not Lamar versus Derrick Henry. He's one of the best running backs, probably the best running back ever, one of the best running backs ever. But it was the Baltimore Ravens versus the Tennessee Titans. And that's what it really is. You can't compare two. Obviously, I get it where you want to compare the rushing stats because that's where it was. It was like obviously you got going, but Derrick Henry didn't. That's not what it was. Obviously, Lamar's offensive line did a better job than Derrick Henry's. Let's just put it like that.
For starters, let's get this out the way. Derrick Henry has rushed for 2,000 yards this year with no All-Pro linemen. So let's calm down. Let's relax, okay?
No, I understand.
I'm not taking away. People got to understand, bro. Like, people got to really understand, like, what this man is doing without, you know what I'm saying? Like, imagine if he had a Cowboys offensive line. Imagine if he had a actual, you know what I'm saying? Like a Green Bay Packers offensive line. Like people that protect them. You know what I'm saying? He would probably average 200 yards a game, honestly, like, if we be in a buck. Like, and it's just like, I feel like too many times when it comes to, like, the black quarterbacks or, like, the black running, the running backs in general, there's always this competition as far as, like, how, they always, after one game, immediately try to pit them against each other compared to, like, you got Drew Brees and a Tom Brady, or, like, argument for, like, Peyton Manning and Tom Brady. Like, why does it they always give them, like, oh, these are GOATs, this and a third. Let's just respect greatness, man. You know what I'm saying? Let's respect greatness, man. Like, for real.
And that's what Lamar obviously brought up too. Obviously with Derrick Henry, they played two different positions as well. But where you did bring up the Cowboys offensive line, I'm gonna take everyone back. We all know why Emmitt Smith was good as he was. I'm not taking anything away from him. No, obviously he's a great running back, but Barry Sanders and Walter Payton were way better running backs. Walter Payton and Barry Sanders played with shit offensive lines.
For sure.
If you give Barry Sanders that Cowboys offensive line,
I'm just saying, bro.
You see what he was doing with the Detroit Lions offensive line? You give him that. What? You give him that Dallas Cowboys offensive line? That man is rushing for like 3,000 yards a season, 3,500 yards a season. So I know it's totally off topic, man, but we
have to say that because the media loves to try to like he's King Henry for a reason. His name is King Henry. Like,
people
he's the king, bro. As far as he's the best running back in the league, and he's the greatest running back since AP, like, in his generation, bro. Like, he's literally like that dude, bro. Like, and he had a slow start in his career, but like he's the first person to drop. He's the first person to rush 2,000 in high school, 2,000 in college, 2,000 in the NFL. Like, stop playing with this man, bro. Like, come on now, bro.
Like we're saying, bro. Like, the media, obviously, whatever. They forget. And I've learned this playing football. Maybe because even though as small as I am, I played offensive line at one point. People gotta understand, if it wasn't for the offensive line, the quarterbacks and the running backs ain't making plays. The receivers aren't getting receptions because the quarterback's gonna be on the ground.
It
So
starts with the base.
we gotta
Offensive
respect
lineman
the
is the
line.
base of the offense, man.
Like
So it's a foundation. It's
even playing, you feel me, like long snapper in high school. It's like you learn to love the lineman, man, because they do so much. You know, I had I'm gonna give it a little shout out. You feel me? To Zach Walanga. You feel me?
Malanga.
Hey, Pete,
God.
you feel me? Just someone jumped on my head, put him on the ground, and it's like, you know, offensive line will literally. I'm not saying any other position won't, but they will literally go to war for their quarterback. They will literally go to war for their running back, their receivers. Like I feel like they don't get the respect they deserve.
No, they don't. And I agree with that. I also feel like, you know, from that game, you know, I got to give a huge, huge shout out to the Baltimore Ravens, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, they silenced the haters, bro. They silenced them, bro, because people, you know, Lamar was 0-2 in his career in the playoffs. And to be in the playoffs that early in your career, that says a lot about your talent, you know what I'm saying? You know, Lamar came out, he balled out, he showed out, and he walked off the field. It's that simple, man. Like, we can't act like and disengage from the fact that he earned the right to do that. He's an MVP. You know, he finally showed why he deserves to be an MVP. You know what I'm saying? He led his team, you know what I'm saying, through the fire. You know, he literally had control of the game. Like that was the first time I can honestly say in you know his short playoff career that he's had control of a game. And it's like when you have a quarterback, you don't see that often, bro. Like the last time I've seen that, like I said, was Michael Vick when they played the Cowboys, the Giants, I believe. They was down like 20-something at the half. Came back. You know, he just running the ball, you know, creating plays, creating space. He was taking the attention away from his receivers so that he can make the right play. You know what I'm saying? That Baltimore kept Tennessee on their toes the whole night. You know what I'm saying? They was just trying to figure out what was their next move because, you know, like I say, Lamar was accurate. Even though it was only 79 yards, you got to commend that. You know what I'm saying? He made the right plays. You know, he got himself a touchdown passing-wise, and he contributed to the rushing game. You know what I'm saying? So, watch out for the Ravens, man. They definitely, you know, play how we expected them to play. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
now we're gonna throw that game to the side. We're gonna move on to the Chicago Bears versus New Orleans Saints. I don't even want to talk about this game. The Bears gonna get nothing going. And what really stresses me out.
Nickelodeon though, like what? Why?
Hey, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie to you. I did turn that game on for a little bit. I'm not gonna bullshit you.
I would have too. I did too, bro. It's hard being a Chicago Bears fan. Like this year was very hard.
Nickelodeon, obviously, like you said. So shout out to Nickelodeon if you do. I think the commentary, I found it hilarious. I mean, someone who knows football, I'm listening to this shit like, fuck is it? Like I know what they're talking about, but obviously, it's cool. It gets obviously what we want to do is get the youth interacted to the game of football. You know, and I believe that NHL, MLB, and NBA should, even if it's like 2 or 3 games a year, they should put them on Nickelodeon. And it was fun. It was very interesting. But obviously, the Bears missing Darnell Mooney, Roquan Smith, Jalen Johnson, Buster Screen. It really hurt them. But what really blew me was, they ran a little trickery play. You feel me? Little not a flea flicker, like just a little pitch.
Option read.
Throws beautiful. Like that's the problem. The Bears, they never during the season they never really took deep shots. They take a deep shot. Like the one time they take a deep shot, this man
drops the ball.
The ball falls right between here, bro. That should not happen. Now,
you know what's crazy, bro? That happened against the Eagles one day. The last time we was in the playoffs. Remember we played the Eagles? We missed the kick. And I think it was, I want to say it was Anthony. I think it was Anthony Miller. He dropped. Trubisky threw a dime. I'm talking about through the middle, easy 30-yard game. Like, it was like, I want to say second to last possession the Bears had. Like, in that game. It was in the fourth. And it was like, wow. Like, it's just like, that was that play. Like, you could tell after they dropped the ball, the Bears was like, damn. Like, they just kind of like, they get too far into the negative when they can't capitalize on the play. Like, and it's just like, those are plays y'all should be able to capitalize on, bro. But like, the offense is not dynamic, bro. Like, it's not.
Williams, obviously the one who had dropped the pass, he only had 6 receptions all year. And you see why. Because man can't catch a goddamn cold.
What was that? I was watching the replay, bro. I was like, what?
Hey, but like, I feel like a play like that. Now I get it. You know, if Mooney was playing, that probably would have been his play. You feel me? But and Allen Robinson was probably somewhere getting double teamed, which is understandable. But I'm like, at least Anthony Miller, make that play for him. You're throwing to a guy who, like I said, had 6 receptions all year. He got ejected early this year against the Saints for punching somebody. He's a fucking clown. Excuse my language. He's a fucking clown. And
I don't know what that was about.
And then speaking of that, Anthony Miller got ejected for punching the same corner that Wims punched. And I guess the team or whoever, coaches, whatever, warns the receivers, don't let them get in your head. So both those guys, I'm sorry, are some fucking clowns. Anthony Miller, he hasn't been what we expected him to be in the pros. He's been playing decent, but he's too inconsistent. So, and just to like let your team down like that in a playoff game, knowing you're already down a receiver in Mooney, and then it's just
the game was too in reach for me. That was what was pissing me off. Like, the game was within reach. We had plenty of time to make a comeback. We had plenty of opportunities to make the right play. We had opportunities, and we wasted them every time. It was like, why are we here? Like, why are we here? Like, the Bears, what pisses me off about the Bears specifically is that they talk a big game. They always have a great the interviews that get you hyped for the game. You know what I'm saying? Like, watching them interview before the week, you know what I'm saying, go through their week through. Like, you'll be like, okay, they finna turn up. I like the energy they bring in. And then when they get on the field, it's poop-putt energy, bro. It's like, and my problem is that I feel like Chicago ownership tends to give the coach too much leniency. Like, they're not on the coach ass enough for me, bro. Like, Lovie Smith, when he was the coach, couldn't make a goddamn mistake. Yet, Nagy, we went from being a 12-4 team, 11-5 team, 10-6 or whatever. And it's just like, Nagy just not a good coach to me, bro. Like, he's just not.
I'm sorry.
He's not.
If they keep Nagy as their coach, they're fucking up. Again, pardon my language. But because the Chicago Bears, when they fired Lovie Smith, he had 10 wins. So if you're not going to fire a guy that has 8 wins and has obviously made the worst decision at the beginning of the season with benching Mr. Trubisky, it is what it is.
You just don't bench your starting quarterback.
Like, literally, what bugs me is he just threw one interception. If Nagy was so, like, I'm sorry, if he had Trubisky on such a short leash, why wasn't Nick Foles your quarterback from the beginning? That's all you had to do. If you're going to give him such a short leash, Nick Foles should have been your starting quarterback.
And that's what I'm saying. It disrupted the offense.
And then,
right. Okay, Nick Foles won that game for us. He did. But that was one game. One game. And then, we started him for 3 more weeks after that. And I was just like, bro, like.
Not even 3 weeks. More than that. It was like, under Nick
like week
Foles,
11, right? Because that was like, what, week 4 when they beat the
Week, he got pulled in week 3.
Right, so week 3.
It went to
we go 5-0, right?
Week 12. He played week. Trubisky came back week 12 against the Green Bay Packers.
Right, so he played for 9 weeks.
Right, so under Mitch Trubisky, the Chicago Bears are, I believe, they only lost 2 or 3 games under Mitch Trubisky. And people tell me, "Oh, Mitch is the problem." Like, I understand why you would.
But Mitch really can be a good quarterback if he's given the right tools.
Yeah.
Like, if the coach, if he has the right coach behind him, he can throw 300 yards a game easily.
I try to tell folks, especially at work, it's like, if Mitch Trubisky did not come back and play, the Bears wouldn't be in the playoffs right now.
We wouldn't be in the playoffs.
No,
we wouldn't be in the playoffs. Not at all.
But if Nick Foles never got hurt, Trubisky would never got that shot again.
Trubisky is like one of those exceptions I'll make because, like, honestly, as much as I am angry by the fact that Bears passed up on Mahomes and Watson, it's over. That's over and done with.
Exactly.
Like, it's you know what I'm saying? I'm not one of those fans who live in the past. That's the problem with Chicago fans now. I just feel like Trubisky has the potential to be the best quarterback our franchise has ever seen. You know what I'm saying? Like, honestly, and this is why I said that. Like, he's young. He's willing to learn. I like how he's willing to make mistakes. I just think he has the wrong people behind him for when he does make those mistakes. They're not encouraging him, you know what I'm saying, to move past the mistakes. Like, it's too – like, our team is kind of young as far as offense, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like, you know, with our receiving core, especially our quarterback, like, there's not no coach back there that's like, yeah, like, pick your head up, next play, we're gonna make it work. Like, just don't hang your head down, bro. Focus too much on the negative, man.
Because we did see flashes of Trubisky in 2018.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he could really be.
He could run. We haven't seen him run. I barely see him run, bro. He used to run.
Ever since Nagy, basically, like, last year, especially, he started doing it more towards the end. He wasn't letting him move. He was trying to turn him into a pocket quarterback.
He's not a pocket quarterback. He's not at all. He's not at all, bro. He performed much more better. It's just like with Aaron Rodgers. How Aaron Rodgers, you know what I'm saying, he literally can leave the pocket and still make a 90-yard throw. Or he can leave the pocket, you know what I'm saying, and throw the ball 60, 70 yards. Yeah. He can get you a first down if he needs to, like, or he can get you 3rd and 1, 3rd and 4, 4th and 1. Like, he'll give you the opportunity to go for it. You know what I'm saying? It's like the offense was much better when Trubisky was helping us move the chains. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like, it would have been cool to see, like, a mixture of, like, okay, well, let's do some quarterback sneaks with Trubisky. Let's get Montgomery some touches on an option on the pitch or whatever. I didn't see none of that. I don't see any variety with the offense. And then our defense, bro. Like, honestly, there's so many gaps in our defense, bro.
Before you start with that, obviously we need to get – yeah, let's start going to – because we're obviously, we could bash the Bears all day.
Right.
That's not obviously what we're here for. But like I said, let's talk about what the Saints did, and obviously.
Oh, for sure.
And let's talk about let's talk about those holes in the defense. Like I said, so Breeze, 265 yards, 2 touchdowns. Kamara, 99 yards, rushing touchdown. Michael Thomas, 73 yards and a touchdown. There's only
Drew Brees is in control of the whole game.
Yeah, honestly,
he was literally controlling the whole game.
If you honestly, I hate to say it, but all you had to do was hit that man in the ribs, and it's your game. Because Taysom Hill was not going to lead that team.
Hell no. I'm 100%.
Because honestly, we already know what's going to happen. If Drew Brees went out, even in a playoff situation, they're most likely going to Taysom Hill, and that man was not going to lead that team to a
when they have Jameis Winston. But hey, I'm just here. But hey, I give credit where it's due. Kamara, he's phenomenal. Number 2 behind Henry. I think he's the second best back in the league. It's really tight. The playoffs really kind of like opened my eyes to a lot of running backs. Because I ain't gonna lie, Kareem had a ball.
Chubb.
You know what I'm saying? Chubb, they had games. But like, Kamara, 6 touchdowns. He was coming in hot. He was ready. You know what I'm saying? He coming off at the time of the most rushing yards, rushing touchdowns in the game. Like he had a lot going for him in that game. They had a lot of momentum going their way. They had ended the season on a really good note. So I want to shout out to the Saints for that.
But the
Saints, I'm not concerned about the Saints. And this is why I would say that. They have proven in the last few years to not really – I don't know, bro. It's like the last play they always tweak, bro. Like I feel like if they would have played a different team, like if they would have played let's say if the Bears won a division and the Bears got a bye. Because they would have got a bye if they won a division. That was just like what blew me about the Bears. Like, y'all don't understand. Like, y'all not really a first-round team to me. Like, y'all haven't proven to really win games, close out games, or even control games. So it's like, I don't know why y'all be trying to play in the first round. But wild cards, whatever. If they play, like, let's say, I don't know, bro. The Saints they're just chokers, bro. They choke to me a lot. Like,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They really are chokers. Like, but they haven't really done anything consistently since 10 years. So
obviously, before we move on with this game, I do want to say though, missing Roquan Smith did hurt. That's probably that's your best
body.
As much as I love Khalil Mack and everything, but his absence was
the attention was all on Khalil the whole game. Khalil was just getting his ass triple team, double team, triple team. Like he couldn't get through the coverage. It was just too many holes, bro. This is why I miss. What's his name? Is it Pagano? Well, wasn't he our defensive coordinator, Chuck Pagano, or was it
Vic Fangio?
Vic Fangio. When we had the blitz, we had the blitz A, we had a blitz B, we had a blitz C. We just run blitz A. We just run blitz. We just run in gap blitz. Like it's like, bro, like come on, bro. Like where's the variety? Where's the switching? Where's the mobility? Like we just look bored out there, bro. Like
Yeah, but obviously that's that. But let's talk about our final game, man. The
I was
Cleveland Browns.
crying, laughing the entire time.
Hey,
Bro.
I didn't watch the whole game. I remember I didn't watch like the first like maybe like 3 minutes. I hear people, my family yelling upstairs, damn, the game just started. I'm like, damn, obviously the Browns that high snap, covered in the end zone by Carl Joseph, and literally the next drive, I believe, Big Ben threw an interception. The Browns exploded for 28 points in the first quarter. Now, I want to break down these crazy statistics to you. Big Ben was 47 for 68 passing. That's the most completions ever in a playoff game or regular season game. But he was just, I respect him for, trying to do what he can and just throwing it. And he had 501 yards, and 4 touchdowns. But the 4 interceptions really killed him. He was not himself. And you led a team with no head coach, without both their starting corners, Greedy Williams and Denzel Ward, beat you. And I want to give a shout out to Baker Mayfield because coming into, obviously he had the expectations of you had to be great because he was the number 1 overall pick. He finished with 263 yards, 3 touchdowns. He played phenomenal football. But what really helped them was the O-line giving him time to throw. That's what it really stood out to me. That the offensive line actually gave that man time to throw, and he showed what he could do. Now, people obviously he is not up there to being the best quarterback in Browns history, obviously, yet. But he's on his way there. The Browns have went through so many quarterbacks these last like 20, 30 years. And the fact that they actually have their guy in Baker Mayfield, this man, when his career is all said and done, he will be the best quarterback in the Browns history. You can mark my words on that because it's just the way he carries himself. Now, and he got all that slander these last couple of years. This man has more commercials than he has touchdowns, this and that. This year, he silenced the haters. He led the Browns to their first
playoff berth.
Playoff berth in a while. And since 2002, he just it's a change of culture now. But as much as I want to give him all the credit, it also starts with the head coach. Last year they had Clown and Freddie Kitchens as head coach. And as over the years they never really had a good coach. And now you see giving especially Baker a good head coach and someone who actually knows what they're doing. Like I say, the stats speak for themselves. The record speaks for itself. Having a head coach can obviously, help you a lot. And obviously, he has a great supporting cast. Njoku, Austin Hooper, Kareem Hunt, Nick Chubb, Landry, Higgins, Peoples-Jones, and, obviously before I got injured, OBJ. So, we had a great supporting cast, and that was the question. That was the problem last year. Like, how do you have all these targets and you guys still suck? But, like I said, they were young, undisciplined. You bring in the head of, like I said, clown of a coach and Freddie Kitchens. You bring in Stefanski. He set the tone that first day he walked into that practice field. This is what we're gonna do. This is this. You calm Baker's ego down, and you watch him ball out.
I'm disappointed in Pittsburgh. This was a shit show of the season. It really was, bro.
We all
sure you start off 11-0. You know what I'm saying? Like you have a good run, and then you get cocky. You know what I'm saying? Like you get cocky. They could have went 16-0. That's not without a doubt. They could have went 16-0. They really could have, bro. And what pisses me off about that is just like these TikToks, all this social media talk, all this social media banter, You know, Claypool, I'm disappointed in him personally because he had a great season. He did still have a great season as a rookie, but he got way in over his head, and that's why I put the blame on Juju. Juju, he's not to me. He's not a wide receiver number one. That's my opinion.
We knew that.
You know what I'm saying? I feel like Juju not a wide receiver one. Claypool is clearly going to be that option going forward. You know, but Juju is a great asset to have on that team still. He still makes plays. But, like, God damn. I knew the season was going down for Pittsburgh after I seen Juju get hit by the Bengals. After I seen the Bengals take the Steelers out, I was like, yeah, it's that's definitely a first-round pick.
Pittsburgh Steelers are, you know, what we were going to name our new segments. They were some bank frauds.
Bank frauds. They were literally, the check bounced. We called the insurance company on them already, bro. Like, we need a thorough investigation into that organization.
But if you really look at who they played, you know, obviously you see posts everywhere like they played Daniel Jones, they played obviously this. So their competition wasn't really tough though. You know, Washington's defense is great, but again, Pittsburgh's defense is great, and you lost to Washington. No strike. And then they obviously had the real first matchup against the Buffalo Bills, where, you know, Josh Allen balled out. They should have lost to the Indianapolis Colts, but then you lose to the Cincinnati Bengals, man. It's a tough one. And then you lose to the Browns. Obviously, you know, they sat there all this.
They're 1-2 against the Browns this season. So, hey, like I say, you know, the Browns are just the Browns. The Browns don't be the Browns, man. You know, so I commend the Browns and that organization for, you know what I'm saying, maintaining that energy. You know, I like the energy they're coming into the playoffs with. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be a real fight, you know, next week when they go against Chiefs. You know, I think I'm not going to say they got a legitimate chance, but they have an actual chance.
Hey, you know? They do, because, look, I bet you 85% of the world counted them out this game against the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Oh, 100%.
So
100%. I kind of knew that. I swore I said whoever the Steelers play in the first round, because the Steelers are not really good normally in the first round. They really not, bro. Like, they should have won the division. They should have won the AFC North. They should have won that division. That's for starters. And then, like,
what's it called? They should have won the AFC in general. Like, not that.
They should have won.
They had the best record in the AFC. Let's put it like that.
They should have the best record in the league, bro. Like, that's not even a question, bro. Like, you know, you start off 11-0. You know what I'm saying? Like, you definitely should be the best team in the league, because what y'all been figuring out, y'all understand the systems that y'all playing. Y'all exploit the systems that y'all playing. But when it's time to get down and get serious for real, like to play game, like it's like the Pittsburgh was playing. You'll see them play like 60% in the first quarter, and then they'll go down in the second quarter, and then they'll turn up in the second half. And I guess they figured they'll do that this game. I don't know what it was, bro, but it's just like Big Ben, you know, had 4 turnovers, of course. But, like, it was just like the offense was just not in it, man. Like,
what cracked me up was today, Chase Claypool. First of all, the man's not on Facebook Live. He ain't on whatever the hell Twitter got. He ain't on Instagram Live. This man is a fucking child on TikTok Live. The Browns finna get whooped, whatever. Bro, you just shitty because you just got whooped by the Browns. Like, realistically, you just shitty that you got whooped by the Browns, dog. Like, shut your mouth. You already got humbled, so keep your mouth shut. Or, you know what? The Cleveland Browns.
I'm just saying, bro, this is a year of upsets. I'm not giving Kansas City a straight ride to the championship this year.
You know what? This is a very hot take. The Cleveland Browns are gonna sweep the Steelers next year. They keep running them out. You're gonna light a fire under Baker Mayfield. You're gonna light a fire under Coach Stefanski, and especially that defense, man. With Denzel Ward back, hopefully next year, and Greedy Williams, man, Pittsburgh Steelers better watch out. That's all I'm gonna say, man, because they're gonna want to hit the hell out of them boys right there. Juju Smith and Chase Claypool, y'all better.
They got targets on their back, bro. The whole league got them on their. I feel like the entire league has them circling their schedule, bro.
No, yeah, basically. But look, they're putting targets on their own back.
Yeah, for sure.
But that they're not ready for it.
No, of course not.
They don't want the smoke. You seen Juju get hit. He ain't want that. He's not ready for the smoke.
I just feel like, too, like, you know, they have this tendency to overbite. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They bite off more than they can chew, and then when it's time to, like, face the music, they all like, well, you know, they always having excuses to why they didn't get the job done. Instead of just saying I didn't get the job done, bro. Like that's what grinds my gears about people who like, you know, talk shit. Excuse my language. Like if you're gonna talk shit, then back it up, bro. And if you can't, be a man in your word and be like, oh, well, I didn't get the job done, but this make me hungry. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't feel hunger for them. I don't feel that need for the Lombardi Trophy no more. I don't see that from Pittsburgh no more. I feel like Mike Tomlin, he's a great coach, but I feel like it's getting
Hall of Fame
stale.
coach for sure, yeah.
He's a Hall of Fame coach. You know, he's never had a losing season ever. You know what I'm saying? In his tenure as a coach, you know what I'm saying? So it's just like I respect Mike Tomlin as a football coach. I just think it's time for them it's time for Ben to hang it up, man. I think it's time for them to move on from Ben. You know what I'm saying? Mason Rudolph, I'm not sure if he's the answer for Pittsburgh. I'm for sure not. I'm sure he's not. But I think Pittsburgh need to try to look, you know, I wouldn't say look in this draft class, but I would definitely like look at Jameis, you know, look at, you know, Cam, like, you know, it's time to like, you know what I'm saying, return that coaching, man, like for real, because Ben is not the answer no more. Like Ben is a quarterback.
Now,
Ben shouldn't be their quarterback.
I did have obviously I did have him and Cam as my two potential. I didn't know Alex Smith was going to return the job. I had both of them as the potential, you know, comeback players.
Comebacks, yeah.
Obviously,
I respect it, bro. I just don't know, bro. You could just like you can look at a team and tell when like they need something new in the locker room. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I feel like Cam has the personality to fit in Pittsburgh.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I feel like Cam will also keep those young guys, you know, humble. You know, keep them hungry. You know what I'm saying? Make them work. You know what I'm saying? Remember, like, okay, if you're gonna do this, man, like, be ready to back it up. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know, bro. I think it's time for the Steelers to, you know, start that rebuild, man.
I agree. Now, before we end it here, let's just go through predictions for
okay.
divisional round
next week. Okay.
So we got the Buffalo Bills versus the Baltimore Ravens. I got as amazing as the Baltimore Ravens played last week against Tennessee Titans. I got the Buffalo Bills. I think right now Josh Allen is on a run and he cannot be stopped. So that that Baltimore Ravens defense, I promise you, they're at the brain, their A game, or they are not going to get the win. Because the offense can do whatever they want with Lamar Jackson, whatever. And now, don't get me wrong, then the Buffalo Bills are going to have to tame him, you know what I'm saying, if they want to, you know, have a chance too. But I think the Buffalo Bills are going to find a way to kind of, I guess, tame Lamar for the most part and try to, you know, force him to throw. Because you know the Buffalo Bills, maybe not right now, but earlier today, they're probably watching film on Lamar Jackson. They're watching that game versus the Baltimore Ravens. And Sean McDermott is going to come up with a game plan to try to, you know, make Lamar beat him with his arm, not his legs. And I just think that the same thing, you know, the Baltimore Ravens, they're watching right now on Josh Allen. And, you know, I just think Josh Allen's going to beat them because that's a guy who can beat you with his legs or his arm. And you know Josh Allen has a phenomenal arm. You got a phenomenal receiver in Stephon Diggs. You got a great slot receiver in Cole Beasley. So the Baltimore Ravens do have their hands full.
I got the Ravens.
Okay.
I got Ravens just because of the fact that I feel like it's going to be the opposite as far as like trying to beat Lamar with his arm. I think Lamar, the offense, you know, I think Jim comes in, you know, with the mindset of like, okay, well, we saw what we was able to do with that defense. Let's see if we can, you know, keep them off their toes, you know, like just keep it fresh. That's my answer for that. You know, I think Buffalo has a great defense as well. I mean, the defense has been underrated. People really been sleeping on their defense. I haven't really heard too much about it, but they have a solid defensive core. But when it comes down to, I just think Baltimore also has a better secondary. You know, compared to Buffalo.
Marcus Peters,
Lamar, you're gonna be able to find. You know what I'm saying? Hollywood. You're gonna be able to, you know, get. Is Mark Ingram available?
Yeah, but really this year it's been the rookie out of Ohio State, J.K. Dobbins. He's been playing phenomenal football.
Yeah, J.K. Dobbins is definitely a vital piece to that success on this game against Buffalo. Like, I need him. I want to see him personally with 150. I personally want to see him really, really run the chains. I personally want to see him, you know, get busy. Like, I want to see him get busy because the secondary for Buffalo not really they're not as tough as, you know what I'm saying. That's the only problem. I know they got Tre'Davious. Is it Tre'Davious White? I believe his name is. They got Tre'Davious White, but he gonna be on Hollywood. You know what I'm saying? Or you know what I'm saying. So what they gonna do when their best corner can't really guard? They got two wonderful options. They got Hollywood. And they got J.K. Dobbins. And I think the run game is still a little bit too potent. You know what I'm saying? It's still a little potent. You know, it still got a little power in it. You know, so we gonna see, man. Like, I'm excited for. That's probably the game I'm most excited for in the AFC so far. I'm cool with the Chiefs and the Browns, but you know, whatever.
So yeah, so Bills Ravens is obviously the night game on Saturday. In the early game, got the Los Angeles Rams and the Green Bay Packers. You know, and I hate to say it as a Bears fan, I got the Green Bay Packers.
100%.
Now, honestly, here's the thing. I feel like the Rams offense and the Packers defense are like equal. What it's really going to come down to is
the quarterbacks
offense. No, the Packers offense versus that Rams defense. Can the Green Bay offensive line give Aaron Rodgers that time to make those throws?
They've been doing a wonderful job this year so far. I will say that.
Let's just top it up about this real quick. Who you got? Devontae Adams or Jalen Ramsey? I got Devontae Adams. That man has been playing at elite level all year. And
he's the best route runner right now.
Now, honestly, let's put it like this. You compare the stats when, like, Jalen Ramsey was locking down D-Hop. I feel like, obviously, D-Hop is I feel like I wouldn't say he's easy to lock down, but it's just something about D-Hop's game to me where it's like he's elite, but, like, obviously, you know he's elite. It's just something balanced to me, though, where, like, he's starting to slowly, I guess, like, almost move down on my, like, top quarterback.
Honestly, D-Hop is more hands. D-Hop is more hands than feet.
He's more hands than feet. That's literally what it is. Adams has both of those.
Yeah, for sure.
Hands and feet. He's, like you said, he's the best route runner in the league. He can get open. He can make plays. And like you said, you know, he's more hands than feet. So I feel like he's more easy to lock down. Yeah, DeAndre Hopkins is a guy where, like,
D-Hop really don't have routes.
He has routes, but he doesn't have it. His route running isn't like
or posts. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's hard, bro. I agree. D-Hop is not overrated for one.
He's not overrated at all.
Comparing skill, he's still a top 5 wide receiver. He's honestly, to me, the best wide receiver. He's the most consistent. But Devontae Adams this year has inserted himself into that conversation. You know, just how Michael Thomas did last year. You know what I'm saying? And it's like Devontae Adams is probably the most complete wide receiver right now because he can do everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, he can be a diversion, he can be the attention seeker, and he can also be the star. You know what I'm saying? And that's very important because Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams is the best quarterback wide receiver tandem in the league. That's just no cap. There's no wrapping that cap. Anybody can argue me about that. I don't give a damn. But Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams is the best. They're literally the best wide receiver and quarterback tandem in the league. Like, they have a chemistry like no other. Like, you can tell they had the best relationship quarterback and wide receiver wise when it came down to it. They just know it.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Like, Aaron Rodgers know where to put the ball for Adams, and Adams know where to go to get the ball. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, hey.
And obviously, like you said, you saw Ramsey lock down Hop, and then you saw Ramsey lock down inexperienced
DK. Yep.
Okay. So, but you're, like I said, it like we're talking about skill-wise, he's way better than he's better than DeAndre Hopkins. He's been playing, like I said, at an elite level. There's no way. I'll say there's no way. Ramsey's gonna get his, definitely, but he is not gonna lock down 100% Devontae Adams. I bet you Devontae Adams at least has 2 touchdowns and $120 on yards. Now, and what's funny to me, obviously, let's talk about Aaron Rodgers. That's a quarterback coming to this year. They drafted a quarterback with their first-round pick because they thought this man was declining, and now he's an MVP candidate. That makes me sick, personally. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like,
as much as I dislike the Packers, Aaron Rodgers, to me, since day one, has been the best quarterback in the NFL.
Like I said, I'm gonna say this for another day, but I'm just gonna leave it at this. Aaron Rodgers is a better quarterback than Tom Brady. We can talk about that another time.
For sure. Next game, what we got? Is Buccaneers and Saints?
Yeah, we'll talk about Buccaneers Saints real quick. I got the I don't know. I really haven't
Ain't
put
they
a
one
thought on
and
it.
one? Ain't they 1-1 this season? Then they beat each other basically. They
Yeah.
canceled each other out.
But you know what? I'm just gonna go off top of the head. I'm getting the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. You know, just they have the more the defense is gonna need to step. The Saints defense is gonna need to step up because this is not the Chicago Bears. They have Mike Evans, Antonio Brown, Chris Godwin. Now you have TB12 at quarterback. You have
Leonard
Ronald Jones,
Fournette.
Leonard Fournette. You have Gronkowski. You know, they're gonna be a problem for the New Orleans Saints. But the Tampa Bay defense is going to need to step up versus because Drew Brees has Emmanuel Sanders, Kamara, and Michael Thomas, and Jared Cook. So they're going to have to step up and make plays too. But I have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
I actually got Saints winning this. The reason why I say Saints is because, like I say, they have the momentum going right now as far as like coming off a good, finishing the season well. They won the NFC South. They did win the NFC South.
Mm-hmm.
So, they got a lot of momentum going into this. I feel like they have the opportunity to finally, push through and get to the NFC Championship. Cameron Jordan, you know what I'm saying? Like I just need the defense to hoop, bro. The defense got to hoop. I need to see what's his name? What's the cornerback for them? Is Peters? Is it Peters? Is that Peters?
Who?
The Saints.
Marshawn Lattimore.
I need Marshawn Lattimore to hoop. It's just like right now I just need to see the Saints defense step up for them once. Like the last few years they choked. Like they basically gave the Vikings that game last time in the playoffs. It was just a lot going on. So, I think Alvin Kamara has an explosive game against the Buccaneers. I think he has a great game. I think they're gonna really focus on using him more going into it. But like I say, got the options. You got Michael Thomas. He's proven as a catcher. He can catch. He has hands, more hands than feet to me again. The receivers got to be ready to catch the ball when it's time to catch it. You know what I'm saying? Like just move the chains because that Tampa Bay offense. That's an offense that can give you 50 easy, like no cap. They have a lot of talent in that offense, so I definitely got. But I got Saints though because I want to see Drew Brees, finally beat Tom Brady. It'd be pretty cool to see.
Right. Now, final game. I'm just gonna leave it like this, man. Everyone in the world might disagree with me. I'm going with the Cleveland Browns against the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, the keys to the Cleveland Browns beating the Kansas City Chiefs is obviously, for sure. Offensive line needs to get Baker Mayfield time. He needs to find Jarvis Landry, Peoples Jones, his tight ends, Austin Hooper and Njoku. But, obviously the key to their success, obviously, behind other than Baker Mayfield, is what they've been relying on all year. Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt, best running back duo in the league. So, but what really is going to be a problem for them is the defense is going to need to hold up against Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. Tyreek Hill,
2,000-yard receivers,
Watkins, and obviously that's obviously a problem. Like I said, they hope at least Denzel Ward can make an appearance because we do need that. They do need one of their top corners because we seen even last week against the Steelers they were picking on those corners because their backups they're not as experienced or skilled as Ward and Greedy Williams, so they got picked on a lot. So they're gonna need those guys to be back or just need the corners who are out there to step up.
Mm-hmm.
But I believe that they got what it takes. What really is going to be the biggest thing is obviously the secondary and the defensive line, beginning with Myles Garrett, needs to put pressure on Patrick Mahomes. They need to make him force throws.
Well, personally, in the last 3-4 years, Kansas City Chiefs have had the best offensive line in the league. Mahomes has had the most time throwing the ball. So I agree with that. The front line for the Browns definitely got to step up. But again, honestly, I'm not worried about them offensive. They have a ton of pieces. They got Austin Hooper, a tight end still. They got numbers. You know what I'm saying? They got Jarvis Landry still. Like you said, you got the best running back tandem. This one is in the air for me, man. Like I really like both quarterbacks for the teams. I do appreciate Patrick Mahomes and his greatness and what he's been able to create, with the magic he's been able to make since he's coming to the league. He's kind of like proved everybody wrong after not really being a top quarterback prospect, coming into the league. So, Andy Reid always got some up his sleeve, man. You never know with Andy Reid, man. Andy Reid has proven to definitely be a legend in this game, a great football coach. But the difference between me, the X factor for me in this game is Travis Kelce. Travis Kelce in this game has to be a blocker, bro. Like, he has to get that shit together. He's proven that he's been proven this year. But can he handle having to move Myles Garrett out the way? Like, can he handle that? You know what I'm saying? Because Myles Garrett will get to your quarterback. If he don't sack him, he gonna hit him for sure. So it's just like, I hope Cleveland gonna definitely come with some pieces, come with some plays, come with some tricks, because Kansas City, like I said, they've been at the top for a very long time.
Yeah.
So it's definitely an upset that can happen this weekend. So
to me, it's funny how I feel bad because like before OBJ got hurt, he was having a hell of a season. I feel like he was gonna finish like with 1,000 yards. I feel like he was gonna be phenomenal this year until the injury. So I just hate to see it, like someone like him who gets all this slander when he actually is finally getting good or something's going his way, he tears the ACL. Now I don't know if he's gonna be in the Cleveland Browns next year, but I do wish the best for him. I wish he was there through this playoff run because I feel like it'd be exciting. But I think that's all we got today. We really just this one was a hit. I'm not gonna lie to you. This
it is. They're gonna like this one
for sure. But yeah, guys, that's it for today. Thank you guys for listening. Another episode of Locked In. This is episode 2. Stay tuned for tons more we have to come. And then, if you have any final words, Jay, then we're out.
Hey, man, it's Locked In Sports, man. We coming for y'all next all year, man. Make sure y'all ready, man. We finna be on y'all ass like a cheap suit. You feel me? It's your boy, Jay the Juice, man. We appreciate y'all coming out for this beautiful, beautiful episode. We're looking forward to more coming for y'all. Let us know what y'all think, man, in the comments, man, for sure. Give us y'all feedback. We always looking for y'all feedback, man. And
Definitely.
Holla.